If you want your business to end up on the top of the Google Maps pack, the Google 3 pack, don't optimize your Google business profile. There, I said it. If not the Google business profile, then what gets me into the 3 pack? Well, let's talk about that. I'm Deacon Nick. Thanks so much for watching me. Here I am today. I've got my t-shirt I found in my drawer that I had 13 years ago, and it has never fit me. Now it fits me, but it's from Well Aware 2013 Shower Strike. Stinking it up for a week for clean water. We didn't shower for a week, and people like sponsored us, and we built wells in Africa. It was easy to get money from people. They just pay me to stay away, stay away. Anyway, like I said at the beginning, don't optimize your Google business profile if you want to get into the 3 pack. And yeah, there's a little sarcasm in there, a little bit of what do you call it? Clickbait, right? You got to put something in the thumbnail to get people to click on you these days. But if not Google profile, then what gets me into the 3 pack? And of course, you do have to optimize your Google business profile. But that's about 90, that's about 10% of what we do when we push companies up to the top of the 3 pack in Google Maps or whatever you call it, right? And I don't even know what to call it anymore. I had to start this video over because I got like tongue-tied trying to figure out what to call it. Is it the Google business profile? Is it Google My Business? Is it the 3 pack? This is the map pack. The top of Google, right in that little thing that I'm showing a picture of here. That's what I should do. I should just like say here, you want to get here? It's much more, what you do outside of Google business profile is much more important than what you do inside of the Google business profile. So let's talk about it. Before you optimize anything, right, you got to do your keyword research. And that's another video where we go in depth into how to search for keywords, what to do, what not to do. But here's a short version of it, right? You put your term in, like let's use house cleaning. Let's change it. Let's say house cleaning Dallas, right? House cleaning company in Dallas. You see what happens when you start filling that out? All these things start coming here. As soon as I type house cleaning, see the options that come up? This is the Google autofill, right? And actually, well, I don't want to get off on a tangent, but I'm part of a program where you could have your business name show up here. Let's say you own a company in Dallas called Sparkle Clean. When someone types, if they live in Dallas and they type house cleaning, it'll say house cleaning Dallas Sparkle Clean, and you like own this thing. But anyway, back to away from the commercial, back to the news. And I guess, you're going to leave if I don't start giving you something interesting to hang your hat on here. But so first, when you're doing your keyword research, you type the first part of your phrase, and this stuff pops up. And like I said, we'll do a whole other video on this, but these are some great terms, right? If you're in Dallas, and let's go that route, these are some of the most searched terms in Google. Google's telling you what people search for: deep cleaning services, Dallas prices, commercial cleaning, and Dallas maids review. And like when someone's typing in cleaning service Dallas prices, that's buyer intent, right? That's a much better keyword to optimize for, because if they're asking for prices, they're ready to buy, compared to someone who just wants to, look at Dallas maid reviews. But the other place besides the Google autofill is you scroll to the bottom of the page and it'll give you some down here too, right? Apartment cleaning services, Dallas, commercial cleaning service, Dallas. And a lot of times they're the same as the ones up above, but they're pretty good, right? So that's 2 ways that you could start doing some keyword research. And again, there's a whole other video that tells a lot more about it. But so Google your term, look to the bottom of the page in the autofill, and it'll help you start figuring out what keywords to optimize for. Then you're going to optimize your profile with those chosen keywords. As you write articles for Google My Business, you're going to use those keywords as in those articles. You're also going to use it as your business name. When you put your business name in Google, even if it's not, if you're creating a new Google business profile, even if it's not your exact business name that, you know, you have hanging on your shingle over the door, you want to use keywords in your business name, and you want to use keywords in your images. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a few minutes, but if your images, and usually like when I start doing SEO for a company, if I look at their images, they're usually like IMG 123 ABC, and they don't say anything, right? If you're running, let's stick with the cleaning company. If you have pictures for a Dallas cleaning company, the image shouldn't just be named after a string of numbers. It should be something like best Dallas cleaning.img, right? Or .png, or whatever type of image it is, right? So image, there's no E. Well, I guess there is. Image. I just came back from Europe, so everything they add an an E at the end of a lot of those things. But anyway, so you want to use keywords. You want to name your images after keywords that your images in your Google business profile, right? So on-page optimization, and again, there's another video that goes a lot more into depth on this, but honestly, this is only about 8-10%, and I'm kind of guessing, but it's a small percentage of the work that we do when we want to get you to the top of the Google business profile, to the top of the map pack. We do very little on-site in your profile optimization compared to things that we do off. And that's what we're going to go deep in depth into today, is what to do to optimize your profile when you're trying to rank the things that you do outside of the Google business profile. Maybe you haven't got that yet because I'm so everywhere. But so the few things that you are going to do on your on-page optimization, like I said, you're going to use your images, but way beyond naming your images. If you go to an image and you go to the properties, and most computers, Mac's a little weird, but most computers you right click and you're going to see properties, right? But you're going to find your image properties, and then you're going to see 3 tabs in many cases. You're going to see general, security, and details, you know, little box, and there'll be 3 tabs at the top. Click on details. You know, I'm writing. Why am I highlighting? Look, hold on. This is pretty cool. It's a disappearing pen. But anyway, and now I can't make that highlight go away. Go away. There we go. But you're going to click on details, and then you're going to see a list of things you could change for every picture. And you probably never saw this. But you have the title of the picture, and this isn't the file name. That's what I was talking about before. Like naming, you know, if it's a JPEG, best Dallas cleaner.jpg, right? That's just the tag, the image tag, right? But you could edit each of these things specifically for your pictures. You can give each picture a title. You can have a subject, and you could add tags to these pictures, right? That's where you're going to use your keywords. So the title of every image, the subject that you could fill in the images, and again, the other video has all this shown more in depth. You're going to use your keywords. Then there's going to be something that says comments. You want to use the same description you used for your business in your Google business profile. You're going to copy and paste for your description for your comments, right? In your comment field. And then there's going to be a field that says authors. You're going to put your website URL, not your Google business profile URL. You're going to put your website URL in the space that says authors. And then there's a space that says copyright, where you can put a link. That's where you're going to put your Google business profile. And that 3 doesn't mean anything. Like, but that's where you're going to put your Google business profile, where it says copyright. And then you're also going to optimize your business description, right? You're going to use keywords. It's going to be a keyword rich description. You're going to try, you could use 750 words. You're going to try to use every one of them. You're going to optimize your profile photo, again, using keywords. You're going to name your logo using keywords, right? Then you can have an opportunity to put a bunch of pictures in. And we could talk more about pictures in the other video, but you want pictures that do two things, that they're good for Google. So Google sees one thing, and that's all this other stuff we've been talking about, right? All these tags and all that. Then you want to use pictures that are also good for your customers, people that are coming to find you, someone that finds you on Google. Like, you don't want to show an empty room. If you beauty shop, right? You want to show a picture of a full beauty shop. You don't want to use when the Google car drives around and it takes pictures from Google Maps. I was doing some work for a guy who it showed the side of his building, right? So they found him in Google Business Profile and it had a picture of the side of his building and it was in a garbage can, right? So we have to change that around. So you want to optimize your images and I call this on-page optimization. I should have called it in or on profile optimization. But you want images that tell Google what you are, and you want other images that tell your customers who you are. Images that show you, a full business, show people in line at your business. Or if you're a service business, you go to people's houses, images of your people, images of your crew doing work, things like that, right? And then you're also gonna choose your services. You're going to have a major service, your main service, and these are kind of limited to what I mean. Google has, I think there's hundreds of them, I'm pretty sure, but sometimes you won't find the exact service. Like one of my clients is a tool rental company. They don't have a category for tool rentals. They only have rental business. So we had to choose that. But you want to carefully choose your services, and then you're going to be able to choose custom services. You want to choose as many that relate to your business as possible. Again, it's all a matter in your on page or your in profile optimization. It's a matter of letting Google know what you do, because the most important thing to Google is giving the right information to people that search, right? They'll always choose their searchers over their businesses. So you want to make sure make sure Google knows exactly who you are, what you do, and who you do it for, so they can send those people right to your profile. And hopefully you're on the top of the 3-pack, right? And then once a week, you're going to write a new article in Google. You're going to add keyword-rich articles to Google. So let's move on. Right. So, another video talks about keyword optimization. Another video talks about in profile optimization. And I guess I should change that. But this video, we're going to go in depth into what I call the secret sauce, your off-page optimization, the things you do outside of your Google business profile that send you the most traffic. Basically, you're doing special things to tell Google we're the best. If someone lives in my town, I am the guy you should be sending people to. And by convincing Google of that, Google reward you by pushing you to the top of the 3-pack, and you won't even have to run ads anymore. You might have so much business coming in. This is going to sound like a lot of work, because it is, right? It's why we can beat 90% of anyone else fighting for the same terms for our clients. I've talked to guys who have done search engine optimization, SEO, local engine optimization, maps optimization, just basically digital marketing for decades that don't know. I won't say they don't know how to do some of these things, but they didn't realize that these are things that you should be doing to rank yourself in the Google profile. So first, a blog. Create a blogger blog, right? Blogger.com. Maybe you've got a blog, or maybe your client has a blog on their website. You should be using that too. But if you want to rank in Google, you need a Blogger blog. And maybe you know, maybe you don't know, Google owns Blogger. Google always looks to companies within Google. That's why videos rank so good on Google. Because YouTube videos specifically rank so good on Google. Google owns YouTube. I'm pretty sure you know that. But Google also owns Blogger. So by creating a Blogger blog, it's Google likes it, right? So you're going to use your Blogger blog to send link juice to your Google profile and push it up the ranks. But there's a very specific way to make it. So you're going to create a Blogger blog at blogger.com. You're going to name it after your main keyword. So let's say you did your keyword research, you're running a cleaning company in Dallas, and best house cleaning is a very popular search term, right? You're going to name your blog Best House Cleaning in Dallas, Texas.blogspot.com. Now, you might say, well, if someone wants to read my blog, no one's ever going to remember that. Nobody's going to bookmark Best House Cleaning in Dallas, Texas.blogspot. You're right. Nobody will, but Google will. We're not making this blog in particular to be pretty. We're not making this blog in particular for people to read and learn about you. We're making this blog specifically to send you more link juice, to send link juice from the blog to your Google business profile. And again, I've probably said this 8 times already, push it up the ladder to the top of the 3-pack. So you're going to create your blog, you're going to name it after your main keyword. You're only going to create 2 pages. Now, when you create a blogger blog, or I guess any blog, you have an option of creating pages and creating posts. And there's, gosh, I've been making blogs for 16, 18 years. There's always been this long-standing discussion, which is better for SEO, posts, pages. In this instance, if you're ranking your Google profile, you're going to create only 2 pages. Everything else is going to be posts. So you're going to have your home page, of course, that's going to be a page. And then you're going to have a contact page. Those are going to be the two pages that you're going to keep, right? Home page, contact page. So you're going to use your first keywords, your first 3 keywords, your best and most searched 3 keywords as the title, homepage, and name. And then underneath, you're going to add your business info, a little bit more information about whatever you do, right? And of course, you're going to use keywords. You're going to put some images. So if you're the Dallas house cleaning guy and your keyword's best house cleaning in Dallas, you're going to put that right at the top of the page. Oh my goodness, there's a squirrel on my windowsill. Hey, buddy. And a bunny. Sorry. So you're going to, right at the top of the page, your header, your H1 tag for your blog on your main page is going to be best house cleaning in Dallas, best Dallas cleaning, Dallas cleaner, if those are your 3 chosen keywords, right? And then you're going to put some information under there about your business, just some random stuff using more keywords. And then you're going to add 3 to 5 images optimized the way we talked before, named after those keywords like best house cleaning in Dallas.jpg, best Dallas cleaning.jpg, Dallas cleaner.jpg. And then you're going to go in and you're going to change all those other things we talked about, right? So you want not only the words on that page to tell Google you're the best Dallas cleaner, you want your images in the code, in the background, to tell Google that you're the best Dallas cleaner as well. And then your contact page, contact us. Remember, 2 pages, your home page and your contact us. And the contact us page is important because it's going to copy the same information that we're going to have in your Google business profile. And you want to put it in here exactly the same way. We're going to talk about NAP in a little bit. NAP, N-A-P. Name, address, phone, right? Any place online you put any information about your business, you want it to be exactly the same every time. Because like I'll use my business, right? We're at 16525, well, forget that. We're 16525 159th Street, Suite 234. So if one place online I write Suite 234, SUITE 234, but somewhere else I put number 234, Google might not know those are the same place, right? Google might think they're 2 different. One is Suite 234. I mean, even as far down as like if you live on North Bell Street, or if your business is on North Bell Street, you don't want to put N.Bell Street in a few places online and then North, North Bell Street in other places. You want your name, your business address, and your phone number to be written exactly the same everywhere you put it. It's the only way that Google will know that you're the same company, right? And the more times Google sees your name, address, or phone number in other places, the more juice they send you, right? And that's what it's all about. It's all about the juice. So on your that's why your contact page is so important. So you're going to add some sentence, you put contact us, then you're going to add a sentence, something like, and this could be anything as long as the keywords are proper. We are always ready to help with all your service keyword, with all your needs, right? Your cleaning needs or whatever. If you have any questions, reach out to us here. Use your main keyword, your address, your phone number. Add 2 more keywords there. And here's what it'll look like down here, right? As here's the instructions and here's what it looks like. We're always ready to help with your house cleaning needs, keywords. If you have any questions, reach out to us here. Best Cleaning Dallas, keyword. Your perfect NAP, 4854 North Dingadong Street. Phone number. And then you're just going to add, after that, you're going to add 2 other keywords. Dallas Cleaner, Best Dallas House Cleaning, right? Now, every couple weeks, you're going to add additional posts to your blog or blog. And we're talking about using IFTTT in a minute. If this, then that. If this, then that. But additional posts every few weeks, you're going to create a new post about, and you can have chat, you could use like AI to write these for you. But if you use AI to write it, make sure if you include your address or the business name, you've got to go in there and make sure it's exactly the same. But every 3 or 4 weeks now, you're going to go to your blog, and you're going to create relevant articles about your business. And some of your articles are going to be directions to your company. So let's say you're in Dallas, right? You'll go to Google Maps and you're going to have it spell out direction to your business from major places in town. So maybe from the Sportatorium. I think that's a place in Dallas where pro wrestlers go, right? So title it directions from Sportatorium to your business name. Write out those directions as a post. Trust me on this. It sounds silly, but again, we're not making this blog for people. We're making the blog for Google, and it's one of the secret sauces that we've done that has worked for many years, right? So every few weeks, make a new post. Maybe alternate information post, directions post, information post, direct. And I guarantee you start doing these things, and where others have failed, you will see yourself creeping up. Now, IFTTT, it stands for if this, then that. I tried writing it out, but it would be bad. But let me show you here. Here's blog, is this it? All right, if this, then that. Well, you know what? I got this in a little. Hold on, let me show you something else first. No, this is it. But before we talk about if this, then that, you're going to create accounts at if this, then that. For other info sites, they can be other websites, just web pages. They can be things like Weebly. This is a website builder. You could build a free site there. If Wix can give you a free site, you'll build a free site there. Here's Toodledo.com, or I guess it's Toodledoo. Toodledo. Toodledoo. I guess it's Toodledoo.com, and it's a productivity site, right? So I'm going to say make a site an account at Weebly, Toodledoo.com, Toodledoo. Diego.com, Evernote.com. Another one is WordPress.com. You can create a blog at WordPress.com. So you're going to create accounts and blogs, simple ones. They don't have to be even as complicated as your Blogger blog. Your Blogger blog is your main blog. But what if this, then that does is it does if this, then that. If a new post is created on this site, then post it, copy it to that site. So for example, here's the blogger to Weebly, right? You just have to learn the instruction. You'll connect your blogger blog to Weebly. So anytime you post a new article, the directions, something about your business on Blogger, then it'll automatically post that same thing on Toodledoo. or on Weebly, or on WordPress, or these other places, right? So I suggest you start with Weebly, Tweedledoo, Diego, and Evernote. And then every time you post a new post on your Blogger blog, it'll send out to those, right? Because you're going to connect Blogger to those. So this way, when you post on your Blogger, they automatically post there as well. And you can have it post on your social media sites, et cetera, right? And this sends WebJuice back to Blogger, which sends WebJuice, because it's connected, back to your Google business profile. So every time, you only have to do it once, right? You only got to post these new things at Blogger, and then it sends it to these other sites that are out there. And it all keeps telling Google, look how good we are. Look, Google, more people are talking about us. Look, Google, we're found again online. You're just showing Google that you're the authority, you're the best, or you're your client or your business. And you deserve to be in those top 3, right? And then what you're going to do with your photos, we already talked a little bit about photos, how making sure that, it's your extension, like, whatever, every picture tells a story, don't it? Every picture tells a story, don't. I get carried away. But like I said before, if like the tool rental company, that's one of my clients. When I first took them on, every picture was named after a code. So, for example, a cement hauler, right? Something tub or just a cement hauler. It would say 00259.jpg. We went in there and changed them all to say cement hauler.jpg, right? Boy, that was a chore. But so you're going to change your tags. You're also going to go change all those other little things. But this is something that you're going to do here outside of your Google business profile, because that's what today's video is all about. And you are going to go to geoimager.com, geoimgr.com, and you're going to geotag your photos. Basically, it's going to tell Google, it connects a physical place, it connects an address, a place, not on the internet, a place in the world, an address. It connects it to your photo. And again, this is something that I tell really experienced SEO guys about this, and they just roll their eyes. They've never heard of it, right? It's one of those few things that we've always done. That's why I'm so confident I could beat anybody when it comes to getting somebody pushed to the top of Google. Anyway, for local, maybe I'm good at ranking a website, but I'm great at ranking a Google business profile. And to me, that's more important. So, anyway, you go here, you'll click start now, and you just basically follow the instructions. You'll click and drag your image here. You put a pin on the map, and you can follow the instructions how to do it, but make sure to do it right. So go to GeoImager, upload your first photo. GeoImager is a web tool for geotagging photos, telling Google where in the world is that picture. I almost said Carmen Santiago, that Carmen guy, right? With the little striped shirt. Maybe I'm showing my age and you never heard about it. But anyway, next what you're going to do is citations. And this is why I explained map so fully before, name, address, phone number. There's a bunch of companies, or you can just do it yourself if you got more time than money. But Bright Local is a citation company. Did I pull up any others? I guess I didn't pull up any others here. But what a citation company does is every time your business is found online somewhere, we call that a citation. And there's thousands of directories, citation sites, like the main ones that you've probably heard of, Yelp, right? You've heard of Yelp, I'm sure. There's just, they probably have a list of them here. For scaling, local SEO. But anyway, you're going to come here and you're going to buy citations. Where do I? Services. My computer's slow because I have, oh, here it is right here, build citations. So like yellowpages.com. that's a citation. Every directory is a citation. Yext, we call a citation. And you know what? I don't really feel like logging in and going through it all. But citations are really cheap. Another place that I like to use for citations is one that's called Citation Building Group. Another one is Yext, who I put Yext here. I don't like Yext. It's very hard to cancel. They keep charging you. Citation Building Group, you basically you pay for 25. I'd start with 25. You pay for citations, and it's very cheap. Like I can get 100 citations for like $20, right? So let's say you're the Dallas Cleaning Company, right? You go to Citation Building Group, you go to Bright Local, you pay for 25 or 50 citations. You type your information once, then your name of your company, your address, your phone number, a short description. They go and create accounts at all these places for you, right? And that's why if you're not where you want to be, if you're close to the top, maybe you're ranked fourth or fifth, you probably need more citations, right? And again, I talked about it before, but it's showing Google, it's making Google think you are showing up everywhere online, and it pushes you up the search engine. Just make sure every citation you create uses your NAP the same way. And then finally, we're going to get to press releases. This is something everyone's heard of. And if you just do press releases, it's good. If you link them, if you chain link them together, it's great because it sends the link juice to one, to another. We used to have a name for it that I've done a million times and I can't even, I can't remember what we call it, but it's like when the link juice flows up. Pyramids, is that what you used to call it? I don't even know. Anyway, and this stuff is all good for AI too, because now, you go to Google and you type a search, and you get in a lot of cases, it's not here for house cleaning Dallas, let's say, I don't know, Dallas food business. Let's see what comes up. See, you get this AI stuff first, and then you get your rankings. But what I'm teaching you now, and there might be a day when the map pack disappears, but AI is going to get better and better. I have found that if you're ranked in the map pack, you will also rank in their AI descriptions, in their AI search results. Anyway, so press releases. I'm sure you've all heard of a press release. I can talk for an hour and a half on how to write a press release. There's certain ways to do it, and I'm just going to tell you, if you want to write a press release about your company, Google it, right? There's a million articles on how to write a press release. Just make sure you get a current one. Of course, you're going to make sure you use your keywords, et cetera, et cetera. But a press release, it's a little different than an article, right? You wouldn't write a how-to press release. You'd write a press release announcing a new chef that you just hired for your restaurant, or announcing a new, like my tool rental business, right? Announcing a new piece of machinery or a new type of machinery equipment that we're now renting out. It's not always events, but most press releases, effective ones, are about an event, a happening within a business, not just like an educational thing, although you can do it. I'll also mention, when you write your press releases, you're more, again, writing it for Google than you are for the public. You might not get a lot of views to your press release, and frankly, we don't care. All that we care is that Google scans your press release, that the Google algorithm reads your press release, right? And then sends you more juice back to your Google business profile. But in your press release, you're not going to talk about your website. And sometimes you link to your website, but you're really going to talk about your Google business profile, because again, that's what we're trying to rank, right? So you're gonna learn how to write a press release. You're gonna write a press release. Should be scripted like a video. I mean, should not be how-to or scripted like a video. Needs to be newsworthy or an announcement of an event. It should sound like a newspaper article or a segment on a news show, right? Again, Google it. And then you're going to link your keywords back to your Google business profile in each, following the structure below. And, here's just a link, right? It's usually in blue, you click on it. You know what a link is. So structure, your first press release, the links inside of you should have at least 3 links in every press release, and it should be your keywords that link. You shouldn't just write, here's a link to my homepage, and then have homepage go there, right? You should write something like, here's a link to the best Dallas cleaner. And then those words, best Dallas cleaner, that's the ones that you want people to click on, right? I mean, I'm sure you've seen it a million times. So your first link inside your press release is going to point to your website. This is your first press release. Your second link inside of your first press release is going to point at your Google business profile. The third link in your first press release is going to point to an inside page, your website inside page, or a social media post. Again, we're sending juice to a lot of your properties, right? So they can all pull together and send that juice to your Google profile. Your second press release, you're going to have 3 links at least. The first one points to your first press release. And this should be when I say your first, you can use Google to see which, if you have 3 keywords in a press release, one of those keywords is the most important, right? It gets more searches. And you could use, like, there's a lot of sites you can go to. You can go to Google Business Profile, not Google Business Profile, Google Analytics, and see which, or just click keyword tool, right? So if you have 3 keywords you're using in a press release, find out which one of those. You could just go to ChatGPT and say, here are my 3 keywords. Which one of these gets clicked the most? And it'll tell you. The most important one is what I'm referring to when I say your first one, the one that gets the most link juice or the most clicks. So the first keyword link in your second press release points back to your first press release. We're going to daisy chain these things, right? Your second keyword, your second link in your second press release, that points to your Google profile review page, where someone will click to send a review. And then your third link in your second press release is going to point to another social media site. I hope I'm not confusing you with the first link and your second, but it's written out here correctly. Just take your time and focus, which I have a lot of trouble doing. Your third press release, your first link points to your second, and you notice a pattern here, right? The first link in your second press release points to your first press release. The first link in your third press release points to your second press release, et cetera, et cetera. But the second link in your third press release points to a social media page or a Google review link. The third points to your Yelp page or just something else, right? Press release 4, et cetera, et cetera. I send one typically at first I'll send one every like 3 weeks. I'll get like one and then another one quick after. And it costs a little money to send press releases. Google or ask ChatGPT for an inexpensive search release company. You could find them for $30-$40. You could post a press release. It's important though that it gets posted in Google News. If you have a choice, you want your press release to be one that's being posted in the Google News network. So anyway, I'll send one after like a week, one right away. Like if I take on a client, I send one right away. And then the second one, maybe 3 weeks later, but typically every 5, 6, 7 weeks, you could post a new press release. And after a few, you'll get your business. If you do all of this, you'll get your business into the top 3. And sometimes you got to battle for it. Sometimes you come across someone else who really knows what they're doing too. Most of the time, it's pretty easy if you follow all these instructions. The in profile optimization, the off profile optimization, and proper keyword research, right? And it's a lot of work, right? It sounds like a lot of work because I think I said this before, because it is a lot of work. But once you're in there, you can slow down a little bit and just kind of maintain, right? So like I just said in closing, it's a lot of work. But if you follow these steps and follow the steps in the other 2 videos about how to do keyword research and how to do your in profile optimization, you can do it for yourself if you've got the time. Just do it. And you'll find yourself climbing those ranks. You'll find yourself getting into the top 3 of Google. And companies have literally stopped running ads that they were paying a lot of money on because the top 3 spots in that map pack in the Google 3 pack, they're the most clicked on real estate in Google. You get yourself into there, and especially if you're a local service business, a plumber, a heater, an axe throwing company, an escape room, a roller skating rink, you get yourself in there, a restaurant, man, a restaurant in a competitive area, people type best restaurant Chicago, you come up, you don't need to advertise anywhere else. That will fill your restaurant. And I was going to start talking about another service we provide where once you're full, we give you tricks and tips and optimization to get your customers to keep coming back over and over. But I'm not going to waste time with that because this is a video about ranking in the 3-pack. If you have questions, please post them below. I try my darndest to respond and answer all those questions. And of course, if you prefer that we do all of this for you, my wife always tells me we should charge more, but it's very inexpensive and very effective. The other thing that we include with it is a Google review system. If you've only got 2 reviews and you do all this, it's going to make it a lot harder than if you've got 200. So you need to automate your reviews. So you just push a button and every customer gets an email and a text. Review us, review us, review us. But that's another video too. So thanks so much for watching. I'm glad you're here. Again, I'm Deacon Nick. I guess I should ask you to subscribe or like the video. But if nothing else, use this information and get yourself raised up in the search results. Take care. I'm Deacon Nick. See you later. Bye-bye.